And welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers along with Bob Sellers. Now, the CIA, of course, has been known for international intrigue and cloak and dagger stuff, you know.
Sure.
That's what you think about when you think of the CIA, right? Well, now the CIA has released a new recruitment video using wokeness and gender identity to corral new agents. Take a look at this.
I'm a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise. I am a walking declaration, a woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be. I am unapologetically me. I want you to be unapologetically you, whoever you are. Know your worth, command your space.
So, has the CIA gone woke? Let's bring back in our panel as well as host of Money Talk with Melanie Colette. Thank you all for sticking around or joining us. Melanie, I'll start with you since you're just joining us. What do you think of that CIA recruitment video? I mean, I don't know what half of those things are that she's listing. A cisgender millennial, someone diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. She's intersectional. What do those have to do with being a solid and good member of the CIA and protecting this country?
Absolutely nothing. You need to consult your woke to English dictionary in order to understand any of what she just said. Like, I don't, after I finished rolling my eyes several times, what's ironic about that commercial too is that, you know, she checks all of these super woke boxes and then claims in the video that she's not there to check all these boxes.
Right.
And then like totally checks all these boxes.
Right.
Like I think that China and Russia are totally shaking in their boots, knowing that this is what the CIA has turned into.
Yeah. So, Bobby, what do you think about it? I mean, should these be the boxes that we're prioritizing when it comes to the CIA?
No, not at all. I mean, it's like in the military. You want a bunch of tough people that are just going to kick people's butts. But now you get wokeness over there. You get wokeness in the corporate media. I follow this issue. I'm into it. But that lead in, I was like, man, I'm going to have to Google some of this stuff because I don't even know what they're talking about. But here's the thing. They're not focusing on the core issues of what needs to be done to be a good CIA officer. And the biggest crack up of the whole thing is that the left is equally offended. If you read some of these tweets, they're mad because this big behemoth corporate government giant, the CIA, is co-opting their wokeness. They're stealing it from them, so they're upset too. It's just so ridiculous. Focus on what you need to and leave the rest for the left.
You know, Bob, I also I was watching that. Once I figured out it wasn't a joke, because lots of folks, myself included, thought we're being punked. This can't be true.
Got to be
or
careful
real.
these days.
Yeah. But then the other thing, what are our foreign adversaries thinking when they see something like that and they are, you know, find out, well, that's what we're focusing on? It definitely damages our credibility when it comes to our security within the world.
Well, yeah, like Bobby said, yeah, I'm sure they're not shaking in their boots, but what gets me is if you're going to recruit people and you're serious about recruiting, you want to get a lot of people to respond. I don't know how many people this registers with, to be honest. I have nothing against someone's sexuality or whatever. All those issues right there have nothing to do with being a good CIA agent. And they should be talking about, do you have a commitment to your country? Do you have a commitment to loyalty? And you want to make sure that this country survives against China and Russia and anybody else that can threaten our safety. We want to talk to you. Instead of doing something like that, it's very strange.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to wokeness, a lot of people are reacting to it, including longtime Democratic strategist James Carville, appearing on CNN, blasting the Democratic Party's wokeness and elitism. Listen to this.
It's just faculty lounge jargon, and it's counterproductive. It gives the aura of cosmopolitan smugness to the rest of the country. that somehow or another we think we're smarter and better than other people and we're going to lecture them. Our urban strategists say, let's start out by attacking all white people. I don't think you can get any dumber than that. I really don't.
But well, first of all,
Don't think I'm ignorant, by the way.
well, first of all,
I might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I don't think you are either.
I mean, when you start to lose James Carville and Bill Maher, you can include in that group as well, Ford,
right.
then,
Yep.
you know, the left eating its own.
Look, I can't believe I'm going to agree with the Raging Cajun, but
Right.
the idea that we're going to use the government to push the humanities department of our college universities' values and norms on our own people is absolutely insane. Further, I'm old enough to remember when the Central Intelligence Agency, the idea was to be clandestine,
yes.
which is not to be seen or heard. And plus the woman in that video, the intersexual person, the whole idea was that she was tired of being an imposter. I'm sorry, but if you're supposed to gather foreign intel, the whole job is to be an imposter. So I can't believe she's announcing the very goal of the CIA itself.
That's so true.
I didn't even think of that. That's so true, Ford. Absolutely true. Amanda, your thoughts on it?
Well, as someone who actually went through the process with the CIA, I can tell you that this was never the way that they pitched people back 20 years ago. Look, telling people that you have an anxiety disorder, I don't know that you want to, be channeling that to the Al-Qaedas of the world and, Russia, China, Iran. Why would we be doing that? Clearly, this is a recruiting tool, so they think that they're going out and getting the right people with this message. But I think this sends a huge signal of, disheveled and not knowing what we're doing to our enemies and our adversaries abroad. And that is the mission of the CIA, not to make sure we have diversity in the CIA.
Yeah, can I throw something in with Ford talking about it used to be clandestine? I ran out of gas on the GW Parkway decades ago and walked up an exit to go to some nondescript building that ended up being the CIA. Now there's a big sign there, CIA, right there. So I guess they're getting away from the whole clandestine thing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of what they used to do, we did ask former CIA agents Mike Baker and Fred Fleitz, as you know, Bob, earlier in the show, what they thought of it, and they both nixed it. Watch this.
It was appalling. It was appalling. We need to recruit the best and brightest to defend our nation, not engage in social engineering in our top intelligence agency. This began under John Brennan, and it's getting much worse.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that was my concern as well, Amanda, that outside adversaries looking in see us concentrating on things like this, and it makes us look weak. Melanie, a final word since we started with you.
Tell me, after all of those boxes that she checked in the beginning of that video, that they are not recruiting based on that criteria, especially since they have a newly hired diversity director that's concentrating on diversity rather what the important things are you good at intelligence and counterintelligence? That's what the most important thing is, especially in these times that we're living in.
Yeah,
That's
I might want to start with, do you speak another language? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone being part of this panel. So.